Howdy crew, I got a not so fun update about that job at the Port of Los Angeles. Let's get to it. Howdy crew, I'm William Morris, President and CEO of the Welding Cowboy Corporation, certified licensed welder and owner-operator of a welding rig based out of Los Angeles, California. On here I'll be going over welding knowledge, what it's like to own and operate a welding rig, welding blueprints, welding math, welding equipment, and so much more. Welcome to the channel. I'm William Morris, the Welding Cowboy. As y'all may recall, I had the first job with the welding rig a little while ago at the Port of Los Angeles, and not so fun update about it. They paid very little of the bill, and I'm going to kind of go into what happened. I sent them the invoice as was agreed upon, and they weren't paying, and eventually the owner of the construction company gave me a call and said, either take this small amount or don't take any money from us. We won't pay you. And I had to tell him, no, you agreed, as well as your son, the foreman, agreed on these prices. And he said, well, there's no written agreement. There's nothing binding us to that. So either take this small amount or we will not pay you whatsoever. And that did not make me a very happy camper. So I brought down the fees initially because it was a contact of a contact and it could have led to a lot more jobs. That was my first mistake. Which solution will be nobody will be getting any cut rates. Doesn't matter who it is, who I know them from, what it might lead to in the future. It just don't matter. Nobody's getting any breaks. And well, it was an emergency call, and it was the second day was on a weekend, and just no more breaks there. Second, I did not have any recording of the agreement, and I did not have any written agreement. I am just a stand-up guy. When I say something, I do it. I'm a handshake guy. Someone gives me a handshake, I take their word for it, and I uphold them to that. Now, this don't quite work. And I knew I was going to have to get into a little bit more legal stuff. I didn't figure it'd be the first job, so that's, again, my mistake. A very costly one because I was told it was only going to be a little bit of welding. So I gave them the price of what the call out would be, and the owner of the company said, okay, it's just a few welds and be in and out. Well, as y'all may recall, I had to do all the extra cutting, more grinding, and then I had to prep all the pipes. So it took a lot longer than expected. I had to go back a second day, which I was initially not told about. So it was a lot of driving to the port from LA and then back. So the Port of Los Angeles is not right against Los Angeles. So you got to get there if there's traffic, which on some of the times there was traffic. And then just consumables. So the propane, the oxygen, grinding wheels, which were full of paint, that heavy duty paint that was on the pipes that y'all may recall. And then the welding rods, gasoline from the Trailblazer being used and being run. Then of course, gas to get to and from port, all that stuff. So they only paid me for less than the first day, which was not very long. And then the second day I was there at a longer duration, and not a happy camper about it, but legally I can't do anything. I could potentially put a lien on the Port of Los Angeles, but I have no legal backing behind that. I'd like to be able to just go take the welds out, but again, I have no legal backing behind that. So I'm not legally able to do anything to get my actual fee from them. But this ain't happening again. I have already taken steps to make sure this will not be happening. I will have legal backup upon legal backup because this ain't happening again. No way. Just not happy about it whatsoever. And the owner of the company called me back. He even got his son on the phone, and his son said, well, I did agree to that, but I didn't know there was an agreement about only X amount of time in the initial place. And so they're just backtracking, and it was just not good. I didn't have that on a recording. So it was not good. And I will blame myself on all that. Obviously, if they're not paying, that's their fault. But my main mistake was not having anything written down and signed, anything videoed, or anything recorded over the phone. So that is changing big time very soon. I will be updating on that because this ain't gonna happen again. it was a decent amount of money that was lost. I didn't even charge for a call out or for the weekend. I didn't even do higher rates, anything like that. And the guy was on the phone yelling at me saying, there's no way I'm paying you this. He was saying a certain price that he could get any welder any day of the week, which then I don't know why he called me in the first place. But essentially the price that he said he can get a welder any day of the week, I don't think you can get a gardener in a beat up truck with a pair of scissors, honestly. I mean, it was what he said he could get in the Port of Los Angeles. It wasn't good. And then he was calling me back saying he needed me immediately to go weld something else after this phone call occurred. And I told him, it's not happening. You're not paying my rates. I'm not going back there. I don't care if it is the Port of Los Angeles. I'm not going back for you. So anyways, it was a bad situation. First of all, my mistake was not having any legal backing. And even if no one were to blame any of them for not paying, I learned a bunch of lessons very quickly on the first job. So I just want to put that out there. You're starting a rig, you're getting into a handshake agreement, don't do it. It don't matter if you're the stand-up person, people will take advantage of it, which I obviously know this. I live in Los Angeles. There's snakes everywhere. But I was still getting everything ready for the rig. As y'all may recall, I was getting stuff still bolted onto the rig when I got this call. So I was not fully ready legal-wise, but I believe I still wouldn't have been that ready once everything was bolted down. So I learned a lot of lessons, very costly lessons, because the fees, they didn't really pay much anything. So not a happy camper. And I learned that lesson very quick, and I learned it not the easy way. It could have been a lot harder. It could have been a much bigger job. If it was a job that lasted weeks and this had happened, that would have been even worse. But yeah, no more handshake agreements, no more cut rates because someone knows someone, because I know them. No more. It ain't happening again. There's no way. It's not going to happen. I will not allow this to happen again. Once was far too many times for me. And just starting out, I have costs to cover. I have the insurance. I have all the overhead. And to have rates cut so severely to where there was no profit whatsoever. And it cost me money to do that job. And it didn't go well. So take it how you want it. Make sure you have something written down, something on video, something on audio, whatever. I already have a plan of attack that I have worked on, and I'll be sharing that later. But that's kind of what's been going on. Just an update on what's been going on with the payment of that. And I'm not going to say what my rates are. I'm not going to say what they said they can get someone else for. Just rest assured, if you are a rig welder, you would laugh at those rates. I don't care if you have a nice truck, a used truck that is not doing well on smog tests. Even if you have a beat up welder, if you're just barely getting the game, everything's heavily used, you would not charge this low. I guarantee it. It don't matter if you're in the middle of Timbuktu. There's no welders that work for this rate. No welders that are doing that. And I have checked with other rig welders in the area that I know, and I am at a fair rate. I'm not above them. I'm not far, far below them, but I'm at a very fair rate for my skills. I do not charge for pipe because I don't know pipe. I just structural welder, fabrication, emergency service, I can do all that. But it's at a fair rate, and to not even be able to make anything but to be actually paying into that job to get it done for them. No, not a happy camper, and it's not happening again. So y'all will be updated on the little solutions that I'm working on and cooking up to make sure this does not happen again for the Welding Cowboy Corporation. See y'all in the next vlog.